What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Cool View. Today I will be discussing the top 10 underrated rappers, in my opinion, of course. Starting off with number 10, Ludacris. Ludacris is a rapper that I feel like I never heard a bad verse from his features, from his songs, from anything he's ever been on. I don't think I ever heard a bad verse from him. And of course, Ludacris got hit songs, but nobody talks about Ludacris enough. Don't get me wrong, Ludacris isn't in my top 10 or anything, but I feel like he's a rapper that's underappreciated. Which, by the way, none of these rappers I named today are in my top 10, top 5, or none of the above. But these are rappers that have good songs, good verses, and whenever I come across their stuff, I always give it a listen, even though I don't directly check for these artists. Some of Ludacris songs that I like is he got a song called Area Codes. Of course, I like his Move, Bitch, Get Out the Way. I like his Runaway Love song. I like his My Chick Bad song. He got a song called Last of a Dying Breed. Overall, Ludacris can spit, and more people should check out some of his stuff. Number 9 on my list is J. Cole. J. Cole, I feel like it's underappreciated and underrated because a lot of people don't give him a listen because they say he's boring. They don't say he can't rap because everybody knows he can rap, but they don't give his music a listen because they say he's boring. And of course, this generation don't want to hear a rapper that can actually rap. They only interested in hearing songs that can make the hoes get up and shake their ass and shit. But J. Cole, that nigga. I still think his best album is 2014's Forest Hills Drive. That album was my shit when it first came out. Number 8 on my list is Rick Ross. Rick Ross delivers on most of his verses that he's featured on, and I don't think Rick Ross is like one of the most lyrical rappers, but you ain't gotta be no lyrical, spiritual, have double meanings and entendres and shit to be a good rapper or whatnot. Even though I love those type of rappers, my favorite rapper is one of those rappers. But you ain't necessarily gotta be all that to be a good rapper, in my opinion. It's a few Rick Ross songs that I like. I'm not gonna name all of them, but here's a few. I like Ashton Marshall music. He got a song called 9 Piece. Of course, I like that Every Day I'm Hustling, Every Day I'm Hustling. I think everybody like that song. One more song that I like by his, it's called Rich Forever. Number 7 on my list, Jadakiss. Jadakiss, again, he's a rapper that be rapping his ass off. I don't think I ever heard a bad Jadakiss verse. Like whether he's featured on the song or it's a song of his. I never hear anybody say anything bad about Jadakiss, but he doesn't get enough appreciation as a rapper, in my opinion. Number 6 on my list is probably a rapper that y'all gonna laugh at when I say his name, but the nigga can spit, so he's definitely deserves to be on this list, and he's definitely underappreciated. The rapper I'm talking about is Bow Wow. Now hear me out. Niggas ain't gonna fit and act like y'all wasn't listening to Lil Bow Wow. Especially if you grew up in my era. I'm an early 90s baby. So that means I grew up throughout the whole 2000s and stuff like that. Y'all not gonna sit here and act like Lil Bow Wow wasn't everywhere back in the day. Bow Wow has hit records. And sure, people will argue that he probably wasn't writing a lot of his stuff when Bow Wow was Lil Bow Wow, when he was still a kid. People probably can argue that. But that don't even matter. The fact the nigga had hits since he was a kid, and he even continued to have hits as he grew older. One of my favorite songs from Bow Wow is that. Number 5 on my list is The Game. The Game is definitely a rapper who can spit. Like, the only bad things I heard about The Game is, like, you know when this nigga is about to drop an album, because every time he's about to drop an album, he disses somebody or whatnot. In The Game, he's always name dropping. Like, the last thing he did was out of nowhere, he want to start beef with Eminem, and he dropped that I'm the Black Slim Shady or whatnot. First off, how you gonna diss somebody and you gonna call yourself the black version of that person? But anyway, the Game is spit. I fucks with the Game or whatnot. Some of my favorite songs from the Game is Start From Scratch, My Life, and Hate It or Love It. Hate It or Love It, that's a classic. Number 4 on my list is Big Sean. Big Sean is a rapper, and this goes for like majority of these rappers on this list. Big Sean is a rapper who can rap or whatnot. Only negative things I hear about Big Sean is some people say like in his early days he had some corny lines or whatnot. But for the most part, every time I hear a Big Sean verse, he's killing that shit. Like for real, Big Sean be killing shit. Number 2 on my list is Wale. Wale is another rapper on this list that I don't recall hearing a bad verse from at all. But Wale, he has some good songs or whatnot. My favorite song from Wale is Lotus Flower Bomb. I think a lot of people like that song, but Wale isn't like talked about enough as a rapper though. Number 1 on my list is T.I. T.I. is a dope rapper. Like, when you hear a T.I. verse, you know you're gonna get a good verse. And T.I., for me, he rarely disappoints me when I hear him rapping or whatnot. Some of my favorite songs from T.I. is his 24 song, Live Your Life, Dead or Gone, Whatever You Like. The list goes on and on and on. T.I. got some hits, but T.I. is one of those rappers that don't come up in conversations when you talk about good rappers or whatnot. If I have to do an honorable mention, I would say Young Jeezy. Young Jeezy is another rapper who got some good songs. He got some hit records, and I like his rapping for the most part. Overall, like I said, these ain't rappers I necessarily constantly check for, but when I come across their stuff, whenever they drop anything new, I always give them a listen. Like even when I came across their stuff back in the day, I always gave them a listen. Whether that's freestyles, new songs they featured on. Most of these rappers on this list, they be killing their verses, their songs, for the most part. Because some of these rappers on this list have had bad verses before or whatnot, but for the most part, they be killing their raps. This has been a cool view, and thank you again for listening to my opinion.